Selenium and Eclipse. Then your web browsers, I'll just explain you how these web browsers are important part of the Selenium automation. Okay, then we'll move to document object model, and then we'll check the application under test to be executed. And okay, and tomorrow like we'll be having some of the important topic on identification of locators, objects, and how you are going to read those objects in your scripts and how you're going to develop the scripts. Okay, so initially 1 or 2 days will be on the basic side, and as your course is divided into two parts like basic and advanced, so basic consists of each topic in depth explanation with practical hands-on. You will be performing those practicals on your machines. So again, I repeat, please make sure that you have all the logistics placed around you, so that at any point of time when I ask you to write the code, I ask you to practice the code, you should be in a position to do that over the your own machine. Okay, and the basic part will cover each topic in depth, and in advanced part mostly it comprises of the frameworks like it's a data driven framework, keyword driven framework, or hybrid framework. Usually we work with the hybrid framework, which includes data driven and keyword driven, so that automatically uh, uh, includes both. Okay, and the third one like on the Cucumber there is a BDD, it's behavior driven development, so that will cover into the advanced part. Okay, so all this course structure has been plotted here, and we'll move one by one. Okay, before we start, any questions, anything that you would like to know from me?
No question as of now, but me and Shurbi, you are like, is there any possibility we can shift the batch timing to either in the morning little or in the afternoon if everyone is comfortable? Because like
Okay.
11 to 2 is
Okay, so
is
that
it?
I think should be in custody of 3RI. Yeah, so Seema would be a good person to answer that question. So whatever it is, then I mean, at least today it's not a problem, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Today it's not,
yeah.
but
So
from
you
maybe
may consult
tomorrow
with
also
her.
not. But
Yeah.
maybe in the next week you guys can decide and let us know if everyone is
Yes,
comfortable
we'll
with.
see how optimistic we can drive these sessions, considering
Yeah,
everyone's timing and feasibility. Okay. Yeah, so
fine.
let's start with this. So just welcome to this automation testing, and I'll just walk you through the automation. Now, guys, we just be interactive. Okay, so wherever you would like to answer, please answer. I just don't want that I am speaking, and I'm just delivering something. So you should be answering the questions, whatever it is. Maybe it's wrong, right? Don't worry about that. And we are learning, so that's not should not be a concern. And please raise your questions whenever it's possible for you. Okay, so what is the automation testing? Just I just want a quick, anyone can answer. What do you think about automation testing, why it is required? Anyone, any basic?
Maybe there are repetitive tasks that can be handled through
Mhm.
automation testing.
Yeah, so you are correct. So there are multiple tasks which are repetitive in our day-to-day work, and if you see, the main intention is not to reduce the resource, but the main intention of automation is to make the maximum coverage. Okay, so to get the maximum coverage, automation tools are in place, and we are the technical people who make sure that this automation is developed. Okay, that's the basic definition of automation. Like we should be allowing the repetitive task. We should be increasing the number of test cases to be executed with less number of time, so saving cost and everything. So that comes into the automation. Now, what are the challenges and mitigations? Like the mitigations and challenges are like we have to deal with the tool, we have to learn the tool, we have to learn scripts, and there are various automation tools over there. Okay, now the basic process of automation what the industry follows is like this. Okay, if you see, I always ask three questions to whoever want to work on automation, like when to automate, why to automate, and what is your tool selection. Okay, so if you go through this, like when to automate, so you should be always automating that when your application is stable, like when you have those pages, or when you have that application in your web browser ready and steadily available. Okay, some manual sprints or cycles should be conducted. Okay? Wherever we see there is a in sprint automation, we have to go through some manual cycles, and we have to go through some of them to be executed at prior level. Okay, the requirement should not be changing frequently. Requirement should be freeze, because if continuous requirements are changing, then automation takes time, and that should not be the goal of any person. That's to increase the time. In fact, we should be delivering the test coverage in lesser number of times. So we have to make sure that whatever features that we are automating or testing, so those, at least those features requirements are freeze. Then there should not be no major defects. There should not be a blockers, showstoppers, where we are not able to run the application. Okay, so that's something we should ask when to automate. Now, why that is a reason to automate. Okay, reusability. Okay, my friend, I think Mandar already answered that. Repeatable tasks we need to perform, so that's why we need to automate. The tool is reliable. Okay, so whenever you write a code, whenever you write a script, it is a reliable, it gives you correct result. Okay, you always save efforts and cost behind that, and again it's fast. Okay, so it's very quick and fast. The person who is executing, let's say, 100 test cases in 8 hours, it might be possible that 100 test cases are executed within 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Okay, so it's that fast. Then it's accurate. Okay, you can trust your results, you can calculate the results in your code. Okay, there are various tools available over there. Okay, then improve efficiency and effectiveness. Automation always gives the efficiency in your project or your product. Okay, there are many critical projects in your industry, like there are many banking domain, which are the most critical things considered into the IT world. Okay, so the efficiency to increase your product, it means that simply not polishing your project or something, but a quality of efficiency. Whenever your client is interacting with your application, it should be that effective that it should not feel that this application is buggy or it's having more defects. Okay, of course, it's a system, so loopholes will be there, everything will be there, but optimistically how we can deliver the good quality product to the clients. Okay, that should be our goal. Now increase the test coverage. Okay, so test coverage is something like whatever test cases we have, if we are not able to do that within the time, then our release cycle gets overlap. We have to extend the release, we have to deactivate the current release and ask for extension, everything that goes. So automation will help you in increasing your test coverage. Okay, now what is a tool selection? You see, tool selection is like there are some licensed tool, there are open source tools. So Selenium is open source tool, and it has absolutely no cost, free everywhere, and it's mostly used. Almost 90-95% company use Selenium nowadays, with various types of frameworks available in their own I mean own in their own teams. They develop their frameworks. Okay, so that's the important thing, that we select Selenium. Then above tool selection also, whenever in your organization the person who is on the senior side, like architects and all, they will decide all these factors like cost, then features, suitability of the tool and everything. Okay, and that's how that tool selection comes into picture. Now, what is the feasibility study of your test case? Let's say you have 100 test cases, and it's not something like that all 100 should be mandatorily automated. Okay, so it's might possible that only 80 are automated, 20 are having some problems due to some features that we cannot automate. The best example I can give is like the captcha. You cannot automate captcha, you cannot automate the audio, or you cannot automate the video. Okay, something like that you cannot automate it. So there are some challenges with that, and we have to live with that. Okay, so in continuation, that with that, your organization is always looking for return of investment. Like if we are introducing people, introducing automation, we are investing into automation, so what is the return of your automation? So it simply says that what is the difference between manual and automation test coverage, and what is the cost saved between that duration, and what is the test coverage or the efforts that we have spent. Is it really giving me the correct count or correct quality, okay, or good quality? So that's something on the automation process side. Now, how did Selenium will how Selenium got evolved? Okay, so initially, if I divide the Selenium over the period, Selenium is initially was used by developers. It was purely used for white box testing, which is the JUnit or unit testing, we can call it as on the developer side. So therein it got evolved, and initially they started the Selenium in three different versions. Like first was with the ID, then was the remote control, and it was the grid. Okay, so there were various versions and there were also some challenges. So in remote control we have to write the server side code on ourselves, and we have to uh, do lot many things ourselves to make the connections, make the Selenium server up and running, and then start your automation testing. So those got evolved and those got fixed into the latest versions like WebDriver. Okay, so WebDriver evolved in around 2014 or 15, and therein from WebDriver started its version, WebDriver 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, and now it's already 3.0. It's already reached to alpha, but alpha is something related to the DevOps process, so we are not going there. This is specific to Selenium. So 3.1.3.141 is the most stable version, which is claimed by Selenium HQ site. Okay, I'll give you that insight as well after this presentation, and we'll see the architecture there itself. Okay, so course and syllabus, I think we already discussed. You all are already having that course structure and material with you. So any questions over this, or else we'll start with our actual syllabus.
Nothing as of nothing.
Okay, that's fine. I hope this
Yeah.
is clear, and my voice is able to reach to you properly without any interruptions. So if anything goes wrong on my side as well on the logistics time, please allow me some time to get my connection up and running, and I'll be live in few minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, okay, let's start. So as I mentioned, the evolution of that. So if you go to this site like this Selenium HQ, and while you are receiving it on screen, you may also try it on your side. Okay. So this selenium.dev is something the uh, website. Initially, it was Selenium HQ. It's developed by ThoughtWorks. The ThoughtWorks is the company who delivers the Selenium product to the industries and this market. Okay, now if you go to this Selenium WebDriver, if you see what all things they have mentioned. So whenever you get time in a day, just go through this website, just read some of the important materials, just go in about and what all things, just make sure you are aware about the tool, what you are learning. Okay, how their ecosystem is, how their history was, how they got evolved, and a lot of things are there. So just make sure, just a high level idea you will get over this website. Okay, and over the time, if you move to downloads, then there is a Selenium downloads over here. As I mentioned, there are still three versions like Selenium IDE, then Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. Okay, so as of now, we will not go for IDE because that's very basic, and it does not have any value in market. Okay, if you see, no one uses IDE, but if you still want, I can provide you some documents on IDE because WebDriver is the most important one, WebDriver 3.0. So that is the critical, and 99% it's used, almost I can claim 100% that WebDriver is used 100% over the market, and people write their own scripts with WebDriver only. Okay. Similarly, there is a grid, but grid also depends on how your structure is in your organization. Okay, how your infrastructure, in the sense we are talking about how many virtual machines you have, what is yours, how the execution should take place. But nowadays that can be also taken care by Jenkins. So I, strongly do not believe that Selenium grid is really required for that. But Jenkins and all those master slave configuration, everything, we can definitely take care of these kind of activities. Okay, so we are going to see that as well. Now, if you see, Selenium supports multiple languages. If you see Ruby, okay, so it can be written in or scripted in Ruby, and the base of the Selenium API, okay, is already developed in Ruby, then in Java, Python, C hash, and JavaScript. Okay, so these are most of the languages or scripting languages, or some of them are object-oriented languages. Those have already given their APIs over here. Now, why Selenium is called as an API? If you see the current market which is going through it, everywhere you will hear like APIs. Now there are two different kind of APIs. Okay, the one which is a REST API and SOAP APIs. Okay, so those are your service APIs. Okay, so those you take service from those APIs. So those, so please don't get confused in whenever you say API testing. Okay, API testing is a altogether a different world, and most of the questions I get from people is like, I mean, they are also calling API in WebDriver. I mean, WebDriver is basically called as API. So API is not something every time you create a service from that. API can be also developed from your existing code or existing core language. Okay, so to explain you, I'll just walk you through the one simple explanation over here. So how Selenium was developed. Okay, so and guys, whenever I say there is an interview question coming over here, so please make sure you note it down whenever I say like this topic, when I'm explaining it is an important interview question. Okay, so and I have my interview questions list, but at the end of the session I'll provide you. But still, while working or while having the session, I'll just mark this or tag this topic with a interview question and just make sure that you are aware about that. Okay, so everyone is aware about Java. So here, core Java. So can anyone explain me what is a core Java, since you have already completed your uh, class on core Java? What is a core Java over here? So it's a language, okay? It's a object-oriented language, and we often heard that there is a core Java, then there is an advanced Java, okay? But core Java is something, if you see, what all it includes. It includes your data types, okay? It includes your structure of the Java, correct? Then you write your classes, you write your methods, okay? You create the objects, correct? After you create the result, then you have an interface, then you have different types of object-oriented programming concepts like polymorphism, then abstraction, encapsulation, okay? Various types of object oriented concepts are implemented in Java. So core Java is nothing but what you have completed, like you write, let's say for example, I asked you to write an array with some data type, let's say string. So you will write an array with string with some dimension, it's one dimension or two dimension, okay? And you will write one class, okay? You will write one object, maybe it's a static or a private class or whatever it is, or maybe you are creating some different class files and their objects to refer that. Okay, so how it referred to Selenium. So Selenium is not something that they are developing their language or something like that. They are using core Java only. Like if I ask you to just develop a calculator in Java, okay, for example, let's say out of our batch, if I ask any person to develop a calculator which will have uh, some plus and minus buttons, the display or something like that. Okay, so whatever we have, and if we develop the calculator in with Java language. Okay, if I ask you, what you will do, you will start writing your classes, you'll start writing your methods, and you will bring that application up. So that application, something which is now ready, is built on Java only. correct? So now whatever that can be called as an API. This is an API, and this calculator can be, you can give to anyone. So anyone who has Java, it's platform independent. Okay, anyone who has Java can run your code and see the calculator up and running, and that's how the softwares work for us. Any software comes to us, we install that, and it runs on any language, like Java or .NET or whatever it is. So Selenium guys also did the same thing. They used Java and they created their API. Okay. And they helped us to give multiple classes, multiple methods. Okay. And they provide us the ready-made source code. Okay. That's something Selenium ThoughtWorks has completed. Okay. So they have given us a ready-made things. For example, in a browser, uh, for example, in a browser, let's say I will go to bigbasket.com, which is the our famous site. Everyone likes that. So that this is in my application, and let's say I want to enter something here. But what I do manually, I go here and I enter uh, in this text box, correct? Something like this. And I manually click this button and the result gets populated. Now, what the thoughts Selenium guys have given is like, why can't we automate this? Okay, like a browser will open, this website will open, and and automatically something will get enter inside this. Automatically, we will click this search button, and we will get some result. Okay, it's automatic. The same step which I was doing manually, how to do it automatically. So they gave a thought and they design a API. API is nothing but application programming interface. Okay, a intermediary level or intermediary layer wherein we can use it in our program. When I mean I can build something more than what Selenium has given, because Selenium is an open source. Okay, this is an open source code where they have given their source code to people, and people can uh, re-architect Selenium in their own way. Okay, that's something called as an API, and that's why I called it is an intermediary layer, which help us to get some ready-made availability of this thing. So Selenium designed multiple classes, multiple things, just to make sure to uh, automate this. They have written everything on their own, and what we need to do is we need to use this Selenium API, and we have to start writing our script. Now only job left with us is to write the scripts, because API is already given to us by them, and that's how we are going to leverage that. And that is hosted on this site. Okay, Selenium in downloads. Okay, so to download Selenium, we have to go to this site and we have to download the package from here. Okay, till here, any questions? Anything that you would like to know?
Is it like Selenium is only depending upon browsers, websites, or also the you like exe files like VB created applications?
No, it does not support desktop application. Any desktop application, Selenium does not support.
Okay.
Selenium only support web browser application. Okay. Yeah. So this is something related to the Selenium site and the information that I have given. And slightly moving ahead, if you don't have any questions, we'll see the how the internal, I mean, whatever the diagram I've drawn here, like API, we'll study this API in short, so that uh, how those Java concepts are applied while developing this API. Okay. So I'll walk you through that. So if you go to this site like selenium.dev and downloads, you will be able to see this section like Selenium client and WebDriver language binding. Okay. So why it is called as client and WebDriver language binding? It means that uh, it's something hosted on our platform. It's a client. Okay. Uh, and it's a WebDriver. They have named it as WebDriver, and that's why we are able to invoke that API they have given to us, and we can configure that in our Eclipse and we can use those jar files. So basically what they provide us in the API format is something like that, the jar files. Okay, because any the bundled files or the bundled class files together becomes a jar file, and that jar file is an API that they have given to us. So if I go here in Java, this version, okay, if you see this table, Java, we are going to work Selenium with Java uh, version 3.41, or just lower than this is also fine, 3.40. Both are equally stable. And its release date was this, and then they introduced the alpha, and alpha was recently released in November. But we are going to work on this version. Okay. Now the API docs which I was talking about, see if they have clearly mentioned over here, API docs. It means that whatever they have developed, whatever is incorporated in this Selenium API, everything is documented by that team. Okay, everything is documented. Now, if you go here, just a minute, I'll just go a little down. I'm just looking for one class. Just a minute. Okay, where is that? Okay, let me open this. Yeah, web driver, something I was looking for. Yeah, okay. So if you see this is your most important document. Okay, whenever and the one architect, the one diagram which I have drawn is an interview question again. So please note that the question might come to you while you are preparing, like why Selenium is called as an API, and how that API is used by the end users. So I think I have already answered that question. Just revise it whenever you want, and you may start practicing those. Okay, now if I just go back and if I go one more back, okay, now these are the packages. Okay, so in Java, if you see, there are different packages that we can create, and packages can include class files, class can include your methods, and methods and all the class area will include your data types and your variable, your like global variable, local variables, and all of these things. Okay, so these packages are developed by them, and to study this, okay, not all are required. Okay, but for WebDriver, just a minute, there was a separate WebDriver that they have given. I think they have restructured it in last month. Just a minute. Let me check if I'm looking for correct one. Okay, fine. So OpenQA.Selenium is the package out of this API. And now if you go to this API, it is clearly mentioned here. Just a minute. Where is that? Okay. Now we are looking for a WebDriver. So if I go to this WebDriver, okay, and if I open this, so if now you can see this WebDriver is nothing but an interface. Okay, interface. So as I mentioned, in Java, core Java, there is a concept called as interface. By using that, they have developed an API, and inside that WebDriver, that the WebDriver they have introduced in their code is something called as interface. Okay, now can anyone answer me what is an interface?
Interface is like UI where we can see the things and click the thing.
Not specifically on the, I mean, not on the application side I'm talking. In Java, I'm asking what is an interface?
In interface, we declare all the methods, but the bodies we can give it in other classes, and then we can reuse those
No,
methods.
no, that's not an interface. Interface concept in Java, that's why I'm asking. Because if you understand the interface concept in Java, this is 2 minutes of job to understand. Because WebDriver, if you are not familiar with the concept of interface, then you won't be able to answer what is WebDriver over here. Okay, because just writing the scripts is something different, but to understand that why we are writing this, it's again an important. I'll quickly walk you through the interface part. Okay. Let
Maybe it's like a class which we inherit in the main program.
No, that's again not an inheritance. That inheritance is different. Okay. I'll quickly go through this. Okay. Very quickly and very short. So I'll give you a very practical example. By using this example, I believe you'll 100% get what is an interface. Okay. Now let's say there is a hospital. Okay. For example, there is a hospital over here. Now this hospital provides some services. Let's say this is a government hospital, or there is a regulatory body of this hospital over here. Just try to understand what I'm plotting it over here, and I'll relate it to interface, how that interface works over here. Okay, then how we'll design that interface. Let's say this is an government hospital, and without them no other hospital can be driven. Okay, so in government hospital, let's say there are some facilities like, let's say, tests. Okay, then there is some uh, clinic units. Okay, only this much is there. In government hospital there are some clinic unit, there are some tests, and there are some rooms that they provide. And let's say there is a private hospital, which again, let's say we can call it as a, which one, any hospital you can take. Let's say hospital A. Okay, this is a private hospital. Now private hospital provides more facilities than the government hospital. Okay, and now this is nothing related to patient. Okay, just don't go in that direction. I'm just trying to elaborate how interface is related over here. Hospital A is having some different facilities. Now let's say, let's introduce a software in between that. A government hospital is giving you some features, and hospital A is having some of the more features than the government hospital. Now let's consider this as a software. Now let's forget about the hospital building, patient and everything. Let's consider a software wherein we have designed a way, like a software is already given for government hospital, then a software is designed for hospital A, and a software is designed for hospital B. Okay, so let's say these two hospitals provide different kind of services. Okay, like hospital A will definitely give test clinic units, but they will also provide scan. Okay, scanning units are also available, which are not available in government hospital. This is an additional uh, facility that is given within this hospital. Okay, the next service hospital A provides is something on the uh, imp or maybe what can be called as improved test. Okay, there are some test labs, those are already improved there and those are efficient enough. So this is something hospital A is driving. Then hospital B also have the scan facility. Then they have again important test as good as hospital A. And the third important thing hospital B has is like they are also having an phone or online consultation. That's something facility they are giving. Okay, now this is a software. Now if I go to this in the structure of a software, like if it's a commitment that hospital, if they want to build this software, they have to use why they should build their own test and clinic units, which is already available over here. Okay, so by using an interface, what we'll do is we will declare this as an interface. Okay, this will be as an interface, and by declaring some methods over there, and if hospital A implements this interface, okay, if hospital A, always a class implements the interface. Okay, so this is implemented by class A, and now what will happen is automatically this test and clinic units will automatically get populated in hospital A. It means that it is a mandate, like if hospital A class in our software is implementing this interface, by default hospital A has to develop the test and clinic units. Okay, they cannot do it on their own. They have to use it from this only. And that is something an interface called. Okay, same here. If hospital B implements this, okay, okay. If hospital B implements this interface, they are again mandated to drive this test and clinic units in their hospital. On top of that, they are providing scan, important test, and phone consultation. Okay, so these three methods which are at the bottom, which are service given by them, now they can develop that by their own without any problem. But if they want to develop test and clinic units, they have to take and mandate from this interface that, okay, if I'm implementing you, I will be implementing your methods as well. Correct. And that's why in interface, we just write the method declaration. If you see the interface, and any class who is implementing that becomes a mandate. And same thing is applied over here. If you see interface WebDriver, it is clearly mentioned over here. See, WebDriver is a remote control interface that enables introspection and controls of a user agent browsers. So if I put it into a Selenium format, okay, now let's now if are you able to express this interface concept now? Are you okay with this? You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll move slide forward to Selenium, how this WebDriver is an interface over here. Okay. Now let's say there are different browser companies. Okay, now let's say Chrome, then there is Firefox, okay, then there is Edge, Internet Explorer. Multiple browsers are there. Now every browser has their own engine, own document object model, own document object model in the sense own way of displaying the document object model. Okay, and they have their own structure. Like if you see Firefox, you might not see some things there, those are present in Chrome, or maybe if you see the Chrome, they might have some different structure over there. Correct. So they have now what they have to do is, like, if Chrome, let's say this is Chrome browser. If Chrome as a Google company, okay, Google is a company where Chrome is developed by Google, Firefox is developed by Mozilla, correct, and I is itself an MS Microsoft tool, and Edge. Okay, so these are four browsers, and if they come to Selenium, what they say is, like, to run the script or run the test in the browser, I have to develop some methods. Okay, I mean even from the browser side also they have to develop some methods, and that's why there is a concept called as drivers over here. If you see uh, third-party drivers, okay, third-party driver bindings and plugins. So Selenium can be extended through these use of plugins. Here are number of plugins that are created for the third parties. Uh, to In order to support the Selenium script, browsers themselves have given their own documentation. Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, there are many. Mostly we'll go with Chrome and Firefox. So in Chrome, if you see Chrome documentation, they have written their own driver. Okay, they have written their own drivers and they have published their version. So we will be downloading that driver and we'll be installing that driver into our system. Now, why then they could have simply said that in WebDriver is a class and create object of a class. WebDriver may have multiple methods. Use the methods from that class. But why? What is the reason that they have given or they have developed a WebDriver as an interface? Okay, the reason is, like, Chrome, Firefox, IE, Edge, there are multiple browsers who look for some different development. And the important thing is, like, from Selenium perspective, if you go to the Selenium, I mean here on the documents page, you will see there are multiple classes. Okay, there are multiple classes these people have already developed. So there is a Chrome class. Okay, so there is a Chrome class developed by Selenium. Then there is a Firefox class. Then there is IE class and Edge class. So it's already mentioned. all known implementing classes. Okay, Chrome driver, then Edge driver. Okay, there are Firefox, multiple are present over here. Now, for example, they have to write uh, every time this class. Okay, this class has to be written with different methods. Now, what will happen if I start writing the class for Chrome? I'll write my own methods. Again, Firefox will write their own method. For example, I want to close the page. Now there is a close method. Chrome will write it in different way. Firefox will write it in different way. Microsoft will write it in different way. I mean, Microsoft in the sense the developer in the Selenium, who will write it the method or the class. In order to make sure that all of these classes are mandated to use some of the basic and important methods, they have declared a WebDriver as an interface. So WebDriver is nothing but an interface that they have written, and that's why they say we will be calling this as interface, and we will be declaring the methods here itself. For example, close. Okay, close method is declared. Quit. Okay, then there is a method called as manage. So for example, Chrome implements this interface. So WebDriver is an interface now. So Chrome implements interface, Firefox implements interface, I and H. Okay, what will happen? This class, Chrome is a class. It becomes a mandate to use all these three methods over here, and that's the same thing they are doing it over here. If you see Chrome driver, if you open the Chrome driver from here only, you will see that class Chrome driver. Okay, what does it do? Implemented interfaces. It implements the interface WebDriver. See this one. It implements many, but WebDriver is one of them. Correct. And this is a public class. Okay. It says that WebDriver implementation that controls the Chrome browser running on the local machine. Okay. Please try to understand this statement. It's very important. It's asked in interviews. It's very important, and people get confused at why Chrome is a class and why why this is a class and WebDriver is an interface. Okay, so just try to see this statement like a WebDriver implementation that controls a Chrome browser running on a local machine. This is my local machine. I have my browser. To open any website, I have to go to browser and I type the URL and I perform some task. Okay, same thing they have mentioned. To perform that task, this class is responsible. This class will take care of that automatic invoking of the browser, invoking of the object, writing the URL, entering something and search something. So this class is provided as a convenience for easily testing Chrome browser. The control server with each instance communicate with the live and the die with the instance. Okay. Now how this gets controlled? That's why I said there is a driver given by this browser, Chrome driver, which provides you the control. So this driver takes control from this class and starts automating on the browser. Okay. And to avoid unnecessarily restarting Chrome driver server, which instance remote web driver couple of days. Okay, so there's an add-on method that they have given. They're saying you don't need to kill that driver every time. They have given some methods for that. Okay, so so you can use it. Now we don't need to go to this class. Okay, it's just a pseudo code. It's not the complete class. Okay, complete class you will find in the Git repository of the Selenium. Okay. So what is the layout or the architecture of this class? They have written it over, or the signature of that class, they have mentioned it. Okay. So for example, I want to work with Chrome. So Chrome will be mandated to use WebDriver interface with these specific methods. Now, if I go back again here in the WebDriver, what all methods WebDriver has been provided? See, method summary. In method summary, they provide web element. Okay, there are many, but we don't want to go in that detail. Then there is a driver navigation. Okay, if I go to navigation, then options, see how many classes and how many methods that they have given. Back browser, every browser has back button, every browser has forward, refresh, and many things. So if you go here, which is this package? This package is WebDriver options. So options is like you have your browser options. Like in browser, you have the options, settings, and options. Correct. So those options they have been written over here, like window, then logs, get cookies, delete all cookies. How we delete cookies? We go to options, settings, delete all cookies. That's something if you want to do automatic, you have to use these methods. Correct. Now there are instance methods, abstract methods. Okay, that's their architecture way. So we don't need to go in that detail. But now if I go back again here, I can see there are many methods. Now let's say get method. What does the get method do? Okay, so get method over here can perform some operations like it says that URL to load means any URL, let's say www.google.com. If you want to load that URL in browser, you go, you do it in manually. But how do you want to do it with automation? So get method is responsible to construct that URL and automatically bring the browser and it will load the URL. Okay. So I'm just explaining you in detail because these are important interview questions wherein you will be asked while you will be going for your jobs and everywhere. And that's why this is very important to learn. Okay. So once this is done, now there is a method called as close. So what does a close method do? Close current window. It means that how you close your browser, you click on this close icon, the red color icon at the top right corner, and you close the browser. It gets closed automatically. So now from Selenium also, if you want to perform these operations like close or quit or refresh, forward, backward. So I've shown you these methods like, so there is a method called as close, there is a method called as quit. Now there is a difference in close and quit. Okay. Close means it only closes the current window. Okay. And quit means it kills the complete browser. Okay. So if I close this right hand corner button, it close my complete, quit my complete browser. If I want to close some tab, so this is my close button. This acts over here in the window. So that's how the difference is close and quit. Okay. Now, if you see this, the structure, you got it. The what is the importance of interface and what is the importance of class? Okay, so Chrome is a class now. Okay, here Firefox is a class. And just to show you the difference, if I go here, like I open the Chrome class, I can also open the Firefox driver class. So in Firefox driver also, you will see the same methods because it is saying that it has implemented the interface web driver. And that's why it becomes a mandate that this class should also use all the same methods which are used by Chrome class. Of course, they can introduce their driver and they can start their inside coding, but they cannot skip. Let's say Firefox cannot say I will not implement the quit method because it is implementing this web driver. They have to implement this quit method anyhow. Your class will not compile. You will get an error over there. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, if I go back again in the WebDriver interface, what does this say? This is a public interface. It has to be public. Come on, correct? So WebDriver is a remote control that enables introspection and control the user agent browser. See, this is very important statement. Controls the user agent browser means it takes the control and performs the operation on behalf of you. This method is also interface fall into three categories. Now control the browser itself, selection of web elements, now debugging the aids. Okay. Now what does this mean is if I go to this big basket, this is a web page, correct? If I go to this tab, if I enter bigbasket.com, it loads the page over here, correct? It loads something for me. Now, who is responsible for loading this page, right? The browser engine. If you see, a Chrome browser has its own engine. That engine is responsible to construct the document object model, and that document object model is displayed on the web page, correct? Now that's what they are trying to say here. Selection of the web elements and control the browser itself. If you go to this site again and just is my, yeah, here. selection of web elements. Now, if you see here, what is this? This is a text box. This is a button. Okay. This login is a link. Correct. This big basket is a logo. Then this is a menu. Okay. This is a menu. I can just by mouse hovering, this is menu is getting activated. Then these are some of the images. Okay. Then there is a button. Again, there is a text box. Then if you see, then there is a drop down also. Correct. So if you see, there are multiple elements. Those are present on the page. Okay. So any page you load, any website, you load any website, not only Big Basket, a document object model, which is driven by your browser engine, and it loads the page, it includes the web element. And that's why it is saying that it has a selection of web elements. Now, what is a web element? It's very, very simple. If you go through this statement, it represents an HTML element. Generally, all interesting operations to do with interacting with the page will be performed through this interface. Okay. How we can say that how to interact with this? Let's say a text box. What does a text box do? A text box accepts something, correct? Text box always accepts something. So the operation, the state, look at this statement, what they're saying. It's an representation of a HTML element. Representation means a visual graphics that is seen. So by looking at visibly over this, I can recollect that this is a text box. So a graphical representation or an HTML representation, it's denoted over on the page. Now, generally all interesting operation, what operations we do? A text box always accepts something. Okay. Can you say that text box will be a drop down? No, text box is a text box which accepts some values always. That's why it accepts some input. Okay. Now, this is the button. Now, can you enter something in the button? Never. You can always click on the button. Okay. Whenever you what operation you can do, you can perform a click operation on the button. So what operation you can perform on the text box? You can perform input operation on the button. Now, what operation you can perform on the drop down? You can select from the drop down. You cannot click somewhere or do. You always select something from the drop down. Correct. Then what about image? What image accepts? Image does not accept any text, does not accept any thing else. It also accepts the click. So operation on the image is always called as click operation. And link, hyperlink. Let's say there is a link. If I click there, it navigates me to other location on the browser. So what does a link do? It also accepts the click only. So in overall, if I, in a nutshell, if I put it, like every web element, okay, has its own structure. That is definitely that is confirmed now. Like this is a text box. So by looking at it, I can see this is a button, this is a drop down. Okay, that represents the structure of the web element on the web page. And to perform anything, now just representing everything on the web page will not help me. Okay, but I have to perform some operation. So that's why I'm performing the input operation. I'm performing the select operation. Then there are some check boxes. Check boxes also have an select, check or uncheck. Okay, so these representations are talked here with the web element. Okay, and all methods call to this freshness check ensure that element interface is still valid. Now they have designed that class in such a way that they check that whether this element is valid over there or not. Now how to check valid? There are different methods and checkpoint that they have already written. So we'll not go in that detail. We won't be able to understand their code. Okay. So that is something on the web element. Okay. That is called as a web element. So what all things we completed till now? Web driver. What is a web driver? It's an interface. Then who implements the web driver interface? There are multiple browser classes like Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Opera driver, or whatever it is. Then what does these classes do? These classes performs the operation on the browser. Okay. What operations that they perform? They launch the URL. They represent the document object model. Then they load the page. they load the attributes. I mean, they load the elements, sorry, the web elements like text box. So they perform till here. Okay, everything clear till here? Any questions?
No questions as of now. Is there any like
You're able to get it?
limit? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there any? Second.
Yeah, can you go ahead?
Yeah, yeah. I just asking that is there any limitation for Selenium for specific language like it supports only C Sharp, Java, not with the concept of writing into the language, but supporting the language.
No, no. ThoughtWorks has already designed it, and whatever is presented over here, only that much is available, and that supports 100%. Okay, so
No,
if you,
what I was asking is when we write the code or when we implement automation, then it has any limitation like the application which is supposed in the C sharp or maybe used in the HTML language, uh, that is not supported or supported kind of a thing which has a limitation in Selenium.
no, no, there is no such limitation. So whatever language they have designed, they have 100% foolproof APIs designed for that. So there is no limitation in that. So whatever, so that's why I said whatever availability is here in their document, everything is implemented. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So the reason I'm asking is because, like me and Surbhi, we are at the same project. We work on the CRM project, which is in the Siebel language. So does it like
Oh
it
yeah, but
support?
is it a web driver? I mean, sorry, I mean, is it a web application?
Yeah, it's a web application.
Yeah, then it will support definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just a minute. Just 1 second. Okay. And that reminds me, one of our friend was supposed to join. I don't know whether she has joined or not. So let me take a quick roll call. Surbi is there, Sony is there, Mandar is there. I think we are waiting for the fourth person. Okay, fine. No issues. Yeah, we'll move ahead in the interest of time. And okay, now that's it all about the Selenium, how the company has been established and how they have designed their API, why they have designed their API, what is the use, what is the document. So your first I mean assignment for today is like you have to go through this website. Okay, you have to go to the download section, you have to go through the Java doc over here and just study and refer whatever I have already given you the notes. Just try to understand and link with your Java concepts like what is interface, how does it work. Look at the design. It's so beautiful design that they have made it like it's very, very easy to understand. Okay. Provided you are very much familiar with your Java concepts. Okay. So that will help you in your interview questions, and believe me, there will be no interview without asking these questions on the WebDriver and the Chrome and everything. It has to be there. This is my first interview question to any candidate when I perform that rounds. Okay, and believe me, people answer it wrongly many times. They are not aware about that what is interface, what is the why the Chrome driver is implementing the WebDriver and how does this work. They just say that okay, it's a drive class and it's an interface, but what is the reason behind that? I think I have given you a quite good explanation. So just study that and revise it on your own when you leave the class for today. Okay, just go through these methods only, whichever we have completed a few minutes back, and I think that those are more than enough to understand everything over here. Okay, okay. Now let's go back to the this section. So introduction, team, automation process, version history, download. Download is pending. So okay, this is done. Then Eclipse we need to perform, integration need to perform, web browser document object we need to start. Okay, so now let's do one thing. you can download the Selenium jar file. I'll give you the instructions. You perform the same things, and I'll give you the location where you want to keep that. Okay. Uh, so you have to open your Eclipse and perform the same steps that I'm doing. So open your Eclipse. Once you open your Eclipse, it will ask for your workspace. Once you have your workspace, then we have to create one project. Correct?
Okay, just
Yeah.
opening
So
the
open. Yeah. Just open your Eclipse. Let me know once everyone is open with this window. Okay.
yeah. I open Eclipse.
And what Java version you are using? You guys are using currently? Hello?
4.17.
No, no, Java version I'm asking. It's Java 8, 10, 11 or 12.
8 8.
Yeah, yeah. Please stick to Java 8 because we need Java 8. And one important thing, don't use JRE. Okay. We need JDK, Java Development Kit. JRE will not work here. So if someone has downloaded JRE, please uninstall. Download Java JDK version 1.8 with some latest version from Oracle side.
During Java training, we installed the ADK only.
Yeah, so then that should be fine.
We have opened Eclipse.
Okay, you guys have opened the Eclipse. You just have to go through. No, these are my old projects. So you just need to go through new Java project, file new Java project. Just click file new Java project and make sure you get this window. Just don't click finish. Just make sure you use an execution environment like 1.8 and give the project name. So give the project name like basic Selenium or something like that. Don't give spaces and everything. Just make sure you write it basic Selenium. Click next. Don't change any other option. Just make sure you are pointing your execution JRA to 1.8. Don't change anything. Just type your new project name. Use default location or I mean your default location in the sense your workspace. Wherever you have created your workspace, inside that this project will get created. Click next. You'll see the structure like this.
Yeah.
Just second. Can you just go back once because I think yeah when I selected Java SE 1.8, the JRE is like only JRE, not like version which is showing at your
No,
end.
what is the version? It should be Java 1.8 or what is that?
No, that's fine. Like Java 1.8 is selected.
That is fine. That is fine.
Then
Yeah, that is fine. Click next.
uh, then you can
I mean, it's quite simple to check your JDK. If you open your command prompt and you just type Java hyphen version, it will give you the Java runtime version like 1.8.201 and the details over here. It's that simple. and click finish. Your project should be created. Okay, so basic Selenium project is already created. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have to go to this website. I'll share you the links if possible, but you may try to search it on your own. In your chat box, it is there. Go with this link. Let me know once you are here on this page on downloads.
Here I'm here only. Yeah.
On this page, downloads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Uncle.
Okay. Now go to previous releases, something like this. There is a window. And just a minute, where is that? Yeah, and click here. Previous releases, a complete list can be seen here. Just click this.
Correct.
Yeah, just look for 3.14.
4.
Yeah, just a minute. 3.14. Yeah, here.
Yeah. Click.
1 4, right? Okay.
Okay, everyone is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you see in this directory, there is a, just a minute, where is that? Java, the third one from the bottom, Selenium Java 3.14.0. Just click that and download. This one you have to select and download. Click that, download it, and in your laptop where you have full admin rights. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. In your laptop you should be having full control. It's not something you are having local admin rights. Everything should be executable properly. You should have your admin rights. So use such account while you are performing this task. So when what happens is later in the session, you come to know that this is not the admin account, and you start facing the problems over there. And I would again recommend not to use your company. That's up to you, but that's my recommendation. Please don't use anything, because the thing is that you cannot take anything out of that once you complete your session. And something other on top of the company is something called as security. So we have to follow that.
Yeah, we have a personal laptop.
Yeah.
Download it then.
Yeah. So just go to the, just a minute. I think I given you the wrong version. 3 point. Where is it pointing to? Just a minute. I'll just check and reconfirm. So, 3.141.59, and what we are referring to here is 3.140. Just a minute, guys. Something wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. You need to go to 3.141. Yeah. Extremely sorry. Go to 3.141, and inside this, go to this one, 59. I mean, in the stable version, we'll take the latest one.
3.14 150.
So once you download this, make sure in your workspace or somewhere you create one folder called as jar files. Okay. First, create a folder called as jar file. Move your zip file which is downloaded to that folder and extract. It should look something like that. So after you extract the folder, you should see something like this.
This is the one which are downloading the Selenium HTML runner
No, no,
3.141
no, 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 no,
jar.
no. Here I have already given the selection. See this one.
Selenium.
This one you have to download. -java. I'll put it into the chat box. Download it from here. And the link is this. Okay, once you are done, then let me know.
Okay, file download has been done.
Yeah, just download this zip, then move this download zip to some location, because these files will be required often. So make sure you are not keeping those into the default download location. Move it to some proper location, because this will be needed for you in future also. So create one folder like this, jar files, and inside this jar file, whatever we'll be downloading here after should come here, and extract that.
Mine also download is completed. We need to extract those files.
Yes, please. Your zip file should be extracted, and your
Okay.
extracted folder should look like this.
In one folder only, both the folders you can keep, or different only I should.
No, no, it's only one folder. Move that your downloads to one specific folder where you will be easily able to find it in future.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and just extract it there itself.
Okay, sure.
Okay, done from my end. Huh?
Yeah, extract it. Just check
Yeah, done.
my screen if you're able to see
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Yeah,
same
I won't
thing.
be extracting because I already have done that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
yeah. Check in the lib. Uh, so there are two jar files outside, and there should be 5 inside in the lib. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I explained you in my previous diagram, that the API which is developed, this is that API that they have given to us.
Okay.
Okay. Now come back to your Eclipse. Go into your basic Selenium. This step, basic Selenium build path, configure build path.
Yeah.
Okay. Click on the configure build path. Go to libraries tab, the third tab in Java build path. Select the libraries path.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, everyone on same page. I want to hear from everyone. So only one person I can get some confirmation. So it should not be the case we are lagging behind.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
same
yeah,
page.
on same page.
Okay. Yeah. So go to add external jar. Okay. Now see what we are doing it over here. This is also very important step. Java, which is already what project we have created, a Java project, correct? Now I can start writing my classes. I can start creating my packages. Everything is fine. But something I would like to use the given API. Now, how I'm going to use the given API? The person who has developed this API has already given that over here, published it. Now, the way to add that external jars, like the people who have developed that, can be added like this, like add external jars and navigate to your folder, extracted folder, and import these first two. Then again go to add external jars, go to libs and import the rest of the 5. So now it should look like this.
Yeah, correct. Let me check.
Apply, close.
Yeah, done.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apply, close. So now if you see on your left hand side, your tree view of your uh, Eclipse, in the tree view of your Eclipse, you can see reference library.
Yes.
So reference libraries are nothing but whoever gives you a third party, and you have to construct your own code using these libraries. Now what will happen, since these are the jar files, you cannot change anything inside this jar file, okay? Because this is just the read only, but you can use this jar file, because in this jar file there are classes, inside classes there are methods, and which are those methods, the same which I explained you right a few minutes back, like these are the classes methods that they have documented. So same have been designed inside that, correct? And we are now just using this API over our project. Now I am going to build my scripts on top of these libraries or top of this API, correct? Now in my source code, let's say there are three folders like JRE. Now this is my core Java. Okay, rt.jar and everything. This is my core Java. This is given by your Java installer. So since you said file new Java project, by default it has pick up from Java 1.8 library, bin library. Okay, so what is the path over here? Like JDK, JRE libs. Okay, so these are the libs given by Java, and this is my source and this is my reference library. So in the source, what I will do, I'll create one package. So new source, new package. Okay, you can give the name like basic scripts. Just finish and one package will be created. And inside that package, just create one class. Name that class as sample test. Check this public static void main.
Here it's automatically inherited abstract methods has been clicked.
Yeah, I did not get you. What is that?
So when I created a class, public static void main I checked, but automatically inherited abstract methods has been clicked. So shall I remove it or let it be?
You can remove that. I mean, just need the static method.
Okay.
Yes.
Done with creating class. Package.
Mhm. Okay. You are done with creating the class, correct? Now go to same website, the one from where we downloaded. Okay, where is that? Okay, go back to your this download section and go to bottom over here. Like there must be something like third-party drivers. Okay, is there anything third party? Third party, just open the browsers below that and click on Chrome documentation. Should open the page.
I think we missed from where in downloads and
In downloads, third party driver.
uh-huh.
Below third party driver, there is a browser. Inside browser, there is Chrome and there is a documentation link. Click on the Chrome documentation link. Once you open that, download 87.0 version. The first link, this one, download this one.
Class
Or else you
library.
can directly go to this website. I'll just share my link. Go to this website link and just download this one.
Okay, there's another window which is opening.
Yeah, here it will be something like that. Chrome driver, web driver for Chrome. And from here you can look for the first version in the download,
Correct.
87.04. To download that, it will be also coming in a zip file.
Hey, can you click on this version because it's opening a new window at my end.
That is fine. You just need to download this version. Click on this, it will download on your browser.
No, it's not downloading. It's opening a new window.
Yeah, but
That's why I asked.
which browser
Can
you are
you
using?
Chrome only?
Yeah, but no, it should be downloading. Look at your download folder.
Just can you click on this the selected one?
Yeah, if I click here, yeah. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Inside this Chrome driver Win32. I mean, definitely, no, you're not using Linux or Mac, so definitely Windows driver you need to download.
Okay.
So download that again, wherever you have created the jar file, create a sibling folder to that, like driver. So jar file folder, inside that the Selenium jar file you have downloaded should be kept, and wherever the jar file folder is there, create a sibling folder to that called as drivers, and inside drivers keep this zip file and extract it.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, done. So you are ready with your download, creating one class in project, downloading and extracting, creating the sibling folder to jar files called as driver file, and inside driver file you have kept your Chrome driver.exe. Okay, all these three steps are done.
Yeah.
Okay, now what you need to do is, uh, okay, I'll explain you while we write the code over here. So today we are just going to see the integration of Eclipse and Selenium with a sample test file. So whether we are able to open the browser and we are able to get something out of that. Okay, so today that we are going to see, and after that we'll have a short break and we'll come back. Okay, so now here, if I see this correctly, what you need to do is, see, let me go back here. See, I told you, right? A Chrome driver is a class, correct? So this is a class. Interface WebDriver is an interface, okay, and Chrome driver is a class. So can you create an object of interface? Can you answer my question? Anyone? Can you create an object of an interface?
No, we normally implement the interface.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm saying. Can you create an object of the interface?
No, no.
Or we can
Oh
only
no, we
create
don't.
object of the class. Okay, we create the object of the class, right? And by
Hmm.
default, if you see this Chrome, they have, I mean, the Chrome class, which is now present inside our reference library, which we imported few minutes back, correct? So it has already implemented that web driver. So we don't need to do anything. We just need to create an object of a Chrome driver. So if I go here and if I write the Chrome driver, just a minute, like this, the Chrome driver. Okay. As soon as I type the Chrome driver, the pop-up will come like import or create something here. Oh, sorry, why it's not giving me import? Okay, fine. Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. What is, yeah. So if just I'll give you time to write a script. Just be with me what I'm explaining here. So any class, let's say there is a class. There are two classes, A and B. And if you want to create a class, sorry, if you want to create an object of class B into class A, what you will do? So in class A, where there is a static method, I mean the main method, inside that you will create a class of object of class B. The same thing here also we are doing. In this is our sample test class. I have my main method, and Chrome driver class is something given by the API. If it is from coming from the reference library, correct? How does this Eclipse will know that this is something from the reference library? If you mouse over this, you will come to know that there are 6 fixes available. The first one is like import Chrome driver from org.openqa.selenium.chrome. Correct? Is it correct? If I go back, this Chrome driver is implemented. See this Chrome driver. What is the reference for this Chrome driver? org.openqa.selenium.chrome.driver. So this is its import, correct? Are you getting? And that's why it is giving me a fix that you have imported the API. So just click on this import Chrome driver. It will automatically import the statement on your top of your class. Correct?
Okay.
Now just explain me what is this statement you have done with your objects and classes in your Java, right? So now just tell me which is the class, which is the object, and which is the object reference. Can anyone answer that question? Out of all these 3 to 4 words that I have written on line number 10.
So Chrome driver is a class. Driver is a object of Chrome driver,
Hmm. No,
and
no.
we have created
What is your last statement? Driver. What is that?
driver is an object of Chrome driver class, so that we
Hmm.
can inherit its objects into while creating an export.
No, no, it's not like that. Anyone else? Okay. The first question is like, which is the object inside this statement? Okay. So this is again an important interview question. Okay. While you provide your experience to a person who is sitting in front of you, he will ask you some questions like this, like what is the object inside this statement? So object is not this one. Many people say that this is the object. No, this is not your object. This is your object. New keyword, whatever, this is a new data type keyword. Above, ahead of that, what you have written, this your object. So if you see, this is your object, and with the help of new keyword, you are instantiating that object with one reference. Correct? The same thing, there is a kite, and to drive that kite, we use the thread. So that thread is your reference, but your kite is your object. Correct? Same thing. So your Chrome driver is a class. Out of that class, you are instantiating an object by using the new keyword. And what is the reference to this driver? Okay, so that's why you are mentioning that reference, create a reference from the Chrome driver class and create object from the Chrome driver class. So driver will be your reference, and thereafter, whenever you will be using any methods from Chrome driver class, you have to use driver only. So this reference will be used for this. So now by doing this save over here, my error is gone. Okay, initially there was an error with red color mark that this is not there, but I have to import it. Now it is saying that this import statement is in your class, and now this class is given from your reference library API. Correct? Now what will happen? In order to use Chrome driver operations that I mentioned a few minutes back, like Chrome driver has written their methods, correct? Now they can in Chrome browser, what I can perform, I can refresh, I can enter in URL, then I can go to settings, then I can close this browser, then I can quit this browser, I can close one tab. Okay, I can move back, I can move forward. Correct? The same operations I can do by using this driver reference where those methods are implemented under Chrome driver. So simply if I go here and type now the driver reference name driver dot. Okay, so if I hit driver dot, it will give me the list which is from the Chrome driver. Okay, so if I click here, so what all things Chrome driver has implemented? Close, you can perform close, equals, there are many things. Okay, find element by class name, ID. Okay, then there is I told you, right, there is a get URL. So get driver dot get. Okay, so if I enter this, it will ask me for the URL, and if I simply go with this big basket, I know this URL, correct? So I will go to home page first, and I'll only take www.bigbasket.com. Okay, so I'll just copy this. I'll add it over here. Make sure you are adding the full URL. Okay, don't just write www.bigbasket.com. It will not work. The reason I'll tell you, this get method is implemented in such way it has a protocol HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so unless we provide the protocol HTTPS protocol, which denotes that it runs on port 443, and this URL should be invoked from there. Correct? That's why we have to write here with full URL. Okay, so default port for HTTPS. Now once you complete this activity, what will happen is like, now whatever steps I'm doing manually, like clicking on this browser, entering the URL, entering something here and clicking this button. So same thing I want to implement with this class also. And if I run this class, automatically the browser will take care. Now you remember two steps we perform. One is like Selenium reference libraries. We imported that into our project. And the next step we performed that we downloaded the Chrome driver. Okay, now whatever we right now perform these two steps were related to your Selenium API. But how you are going to pass the control for the Chrome driver? Okay, this class will execute, but how it will interact with this, automatically invoke this browser. That's why that driver few minutes back we downloaded, we have to import it here. Now the statement says that Chrome driver equal to new Chrome driver. Before instantiating an object only, we have to write some property. And like Chrome driver, you can create a driver for Internet Explorer as well as Firefox driver. So as of now, we will stick to Chrome, and there are some important methods like get, manage, close, quit that we will see today. Okay, so this system.set property, it's not something related to code, and you don't even need to remember it. It's very standard statement you will find anywhere on the internet, and even I don't remember that every time. So if you see this system.set property, okay, this is a method. Inside this method, the first parameter is like, see the comma separated, right? You have to write this web driver, Chrome driver, okay, and in the comma use this path. Okay, path where you have kept your driver few minutes back. There are only two parameters to this. Okay, I'll just copy paste this statement and replace my F drive path with your path over there. This is the system.set property that you need to do. Okay, system.set property WebDriver Chrome driver and comma. The next parameter is like you have to enter this. So give your path wherever you have kept. Java does not accept single slash. So whenever you copy that path, put it here. You have to give double backslash everywhere. Okay. And finally, after your folder, type the name of your file like chrome driver.exe, which you have extracted. Okay. Are you getting?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to perform it with me. Okay. So you don't be lagging behind. Till this step, once you are ready, just let me know.
Okay. Then written down the set property.
Just don't use my path. Just use your
Yeah.
path. Yeah, wherever your driver.exe, Chrome driver.exe is present, give the full path.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever there is a single slash, replace it with double slash, and at the end, just add Chrome driver.exe, and it should be everything. Every parameter should be in double quotes. Done.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I right click this class, I mean anywhere in this white space, run as Java application. So it should start triggering my browser. It should open one instance of a browser. It should open this. It should launch this URL which I mentioned into the get, and it should stop. The script should get complete. And if you can see on the screen, the message is like Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. Correct. That's why I said in the Chrome driver itself, they have mentioned that it creates a fresh instance of a Chrome browser with the help of this two statement, just two statements. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Once you're able to run this step and you are able to open this browser like this, just let me know. Everyone should be here till this step.
We need to have this class which is the import org.
Yeah, you have to import that from the link. Just mouse over that Chrome and you will get the link. Okay. Anyone if is facing any issues, just let me know. Just don't keep blank. What whoever has issue, we can fix it.
I think I have issued that set property on the system dot set
Yeah, what is
property.
that? See my statement. I have already pasted that into chat box. It should be exactly error free over here. Check the comma, check the brackets. See something. It should look here like this. Just copy paste the statement which I have given and replace the second parameter, like from this to this path. Chrome driver.exe will remain as it is.
I just copied that folder on my desktop. Okay, still it's taking the drive
Share
path.
your screen. You can just share your screen.
Are you able to see?
Yeah, I'm able to see. Open your Eclipse. Yeah, okay. So what is that? System.set property.
So here, okay, I
Yeah,
just
so
copied
your
that.
last bracket, I mean your quote is missing. Yeah, and
Sorry,
and you have to mention the exe name after that drivers.
drive.exe here.
Yes, Chrome driver.exe. No. Double slash. You have the file in that folder, right? So till
Right.
folder you have reached. Now where is the file name? So double slash and Chrome driver.exe. There is a file name. Just copy paste of that. Yeah. .exe. Run the code. Exe, not C. It's executable file, right?
Mm.
Save and run. Yeah, what is that? Illegal state path to driver executable.
Wait, I will check the path again, but it's checking this path only.
Drivers, what you have given there. Go back to your path. Go back to script.
It's on the desktop only.
No, that
Still
is
is
fine. Go back to your. Yeah, you have kept these drivers inside your Selenium jars. It has no relation with that, but that is fine. But later on, you should be able to find it where you have kept. Yeah, go back to your script. Okay, now Chrome drive. There
double
is no error in the code. Oh, that is correct. Chrome driver. See this. What is your Chrome browser version? Just tell.
Chrome
Yeah,
browser.
I found the mistake. No, wait. Go back to your script. You have not written properly the statement. See the system set property WebDriver Chrome dot driver. You have only written drive. I have given the full statement. You just need to copy paste it and only need to change the path.
I
Okay,
copied
something went wrong. No, wait. What happened over there? Why it was not instantiated?
that.
Uh, Windows 10 thread unknown error can't find Chrome binary. Okay, you there is a mismatch like Windows 10 and go to right side. Go to right side. What is the Java version it is picking up there? It's 1.8026. Desktop, host desktop, version 10. You go to your Chrome browser and check what is the version that you are using there.
Chrome browser.
Rest everyone is able to open the instance.
For me, the browser is opening, but then that site is not opening. I don't know why.
Check the step that you have written. I mean, are you getting a fail result in your console?
No, in
Just
console.
type Chrome. Just type Chrome here. Yeah, type Chrome in your search bar.
I think Chrome
Just
browser
type
is
it. See,
Chrome
it will.
browser is
Yeah,
not
you don't
available.
have the Chrome browser. You have to download it. You install the Chrome browser first and then go to this. Go to your Internet Explorer. Yeah, in the another tab. Yeah, download Chrome. Download Chrome. That's it. Install it and then run it. It should run. Only download
Okay,
Chrome. You have to
continue.
give a space, right? These are two different words. No, no, second link. No, first one, google.com Chrome. Yes. Yeah, download, install. Yeah, so what is you are getting? Sony, right? What is the
Hmm.
issue that you are getting on the get URL?
Okay.
I'll paste the script snippet inside. Just check whether you have written the statement correctly.
Listen.
Once you download the Chrome, then you will able to see. Uh,
Right.
Yeah,
One first
it
download.
will work. No, in that you might have received the downloaders into browser. Somewhere that exe might have came up. Yeah, you did not receive. No, just click on
Well,
download. Yeah, download Chrome manually. The link. Yeah, before that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Click here. Yeah, run. Just run. Don't save it.
between Tejas, mine is working properly. I'm able to open the Chrome
Yeah,
and
that is
site is
fine
open.
then. Yeah, yeah. Open that dialog box. Should be. Actually, I'm whom to whom I'm talking to. I'm not able to recognize.
Uh,
Yeah, yes. Mark this as yes and proceed. Yeah, once this is done, then Surbi, are you able to get that get URL? Is that issue resolved?
No, it just I don't know, means it's giving timed out error, and
Yeah,
then let the
just
site.
share your screen.
Huh. Okay. It's visible.
Yes.
So this is how I have written this driver.get URL.
Yeah, system dot set property is something that I have written C colon.
No, actually the browser is opening, so I don't think here it will be a problem.
Wait, yeah, just run
Hmm.
this. Just run this code.
So this is coming.
Yeah, that is your proxy or your internet problem when it's not
Hmm.
related to the script.
Yeah.
You have your just go close this, stop the script,
Hmm.
stop red icon. Yeah, it will get that is fine. Open your Chrome,
Hmm.
open your first check you have internet, type here bigbasket.com. Is this your personal laptop?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, type here bigbasket.
Here it's opening. I tried that.
Yeah, I think there is some proxy. Are you using some proxy
No.
settings, something like that? Yeah, go to your proxy settings proxy. Open. Go down. No, nothing is here.
Hmm.
Is on. Yeah, it should take it as it is. Okay, close this. Yeah, go back to your script. Wait. See. Run this again. Let's see why this is giving you a message. Nothing related to this.
It's not getting the site. I don't know. Just a minute. I'll be 2 minutes. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Again that only. Mm,
Something is wrong. Even I'm not able to find. Yeah, just go to your code again and type some different URL. Just hold on. Go back to this browser, the one which was open. Yeah, just open that and just type here. Open new tab. Open. Just type here something. Some Google News. Just type Google News. Yeah, I mean internet connection is there. Now open the
hmm.
tab again, new tab, and type here big basket.
Here it's opening.
Yeah, and go back to your script.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have written my basket. Something is wrong in your URL. So check that first.
Uh,
It's not the correct URL.
my bus.
No, it's
It
only
should be.
bigbasket.com.
Okay. That's
It's
shit.
bigbasket.com.
Okay.
Okay, till here
Yeah.
everyone.
Now it's
Yeah,
opening.
yeah. So let's halt for 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll be back. What's the time now? It's 1:20. 1:20. Yeah, I'll be back at 1:30. So just a short break and
Oh.
yeah, just
Okay.
hold on
Thank.
this session till then and we'll be back. So we'll proceed
Yeah.
for further till 2 p.m.
Okay.
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 All right, everyone is back.
Yeah.
Okay, Surbi, Sony, you guys are there.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hi Teja.
Yeah, you guys are there. Yeah. Let's wait for Surbi. Okay, let's start. Okay, so till here, any doubt or anything you would like to know? Uh, the things. Okay, so you got it right. What we completed today, like we completed the basic architecture of the WebDriver. We already checked out why that has been written in such a way. Then we already created one basic project. After creation of basic project, we already completed one sample test. Inside the sample test, we also completed the driver and the URL. Okay, you get it? Everything till here?
Just can you tell me about API? You are already said about that, but exactly what is the
Can you please repeat the question? Your voice was breaking in between, so I did not hear it correctly.
what what's exactly API? That jar file we refer as API, but I heard in SOAP UI and other things you
Yeah,
test API.
that's what I explained earlier. Okay, so explain
Mm,
that again. I'll quickly go through one simple example. Okay, now let's say,
mm,
uh, yeah, should I start? Hello.
yes,
Yeah. Okay, so just to
yes, please.
explain on, yeah, explain on the difference between API. Okay, now there are two types of API. Okay, one is like the API which is just built on core Java. Okay, now it has been converted into jar file and it has been given. Now, for example, the API that you are talking about, let's say there is an Amazon portal. Okay, this is my Amazon portal. Okay, what you do on Amazon portal is like you select some item. Okay, then you review your payment. Okay, you review your address, you place the order, and before placing the order, it gives you the calculation, like what are the taxes. Okay, and what are the extra charges, what are the delivery charges. Let's say delivery charges are free or not. Okay, so you get this information over here. Exactly. Now, similarly, there is also another portal called as Flipkart,
Yeah,
another portal called as Walmart. Okay, just consider, for example,
right.
Amazon to just complete this task. Okay, to just complete this task. Okay, Amazon has to
Mm-hmm.
come up with their own solution just to bring this calculation, because items, placing order, address is part of their website, but calculating everything as a standard, because the taxes are standard, delivery charges are standard, because so they might have to build some logic in order to retrieve this data in this box. Correct? In this box they have to retrieve the data. For example, let's say I am a person who is expert in the web service, and I have written one web service which is called as a calculator, generic calculator. And if I start creating that website, what it will give me, it's like the total, sorry, total
Are
amount.
you sharing your screen? I'm not able to
Sorry, I think, yeah, wait, I forgot that. Let me know once you're able to see that. You're able to see?
yeah,
Got it? Okay, so
yeah.
this is something I was talking about. The right side, there is a portal of Amazon, and then there is one section, the arrow one which I have drawn. They have to retrieve this data, and there is a standard logic which is a common across all the portals like Flipkart or Walmart. Now, let's say there is a person sitting here, okay, and he says that I will develop one API and which I will sell it to these three guys. So Amazon work is reduced over here. Like they will not be developing their own web service. They just need to use this service API. Now, what this person is going to do, it say that I will develop one API which will take one input and give one output. So what are the input for me, like some total, then what is the discount percentage and everything, and the output will be in the format of something like this. Now the total amount, then discount amount. Okay, we see the same things on Amazon, then delivery charge. Okay, then tax. In some of the countries like New York, they have also have state tax, correct, state tax, and net amount. Now to perform these five fields, let's say Amazon needs to develop this and something they have to write on their own and integrate with their website. But if they know that, let's say this is the REST service which is freely available on internet, why shouldn't we use this? And this guy, no, not freely, but this guy is ready to sell this. This guy will deal with these three firms, and let's say he will open this web service for Amazon. So what Amazon will do, Amazon will simply uh, call this web service, okay, and in response, this web service will be given to Amazon, correct? And in the response, Amazon will get the output, okay, from here. So this input and the output goes to here, and it will be getting displayed. So these, what I'm talking, these are the web services which are called as REST calls or the SOAP calls. Now it has nothing to do with the Java or whatever. This guy might have built this on based on Java. And if you remember my first diagram, there is a core Java that I have written, and multiple people write something on that Java and deliver their product, something like that here also. But in our case, there is no such service specific we are trying to see. For us, it is as good as a client. Okay, we will using it as a client, and in our project we are just using those jar files and we are referring those jar files. So that's the difference between those web services and just an API. That is also an API, application programming interface. It's a generic term, API. Okay, and in web there are REST and SOAP, and in just some of these are the static APIs, I can call it as, like Selenium APIs or something like that. Now we are going to import many APIs in our class. So if you see these jar files, so Selenium Java 3.14 is one API, Log4j is API, Cucumber is an API, extend reports are there, then screen how to take a screenshots are there. There are many APIs. So these APIs are not
Okay.
something which are developed by some person on top of Java, correct? And that is delivered and kept it as an open source. That's how it works.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
So means API, yeah, you can use anywhere, in any
Anywhere.
application, you can
Yes,
say.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Provided you cannot change anything. Now see, if I go to Eclipse and if I see, I imported the reference libraries APIs given by Selenium HQ here. Now if I go in the client source, okay, now I can see org OpenQA Selenium Chrome. If I open this package, okay, I'm not able to open it anytime, correct? You cannot see this, but this is developed by them, and it has, because it has already converted into jar file, and those class files have been converted into jar file, which is in turn giving you the bytecodes. Okay, Java, Java understands binary. Okay, it does not know anything like what is static, what is that. That's something the compiler will give and convert into the class file. Now class file is given to Java, and Java just executes that according to the syntax and format. So in this Chrome,
Mm,
you are not able to see anything. Correct?
okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
And that's how something I can also develop on top of Java, and I can give it as a software to anyone. But people take it as a software which you can see, you can click next installer. Underline, it's a API only. It is something given to them only. The jar files are there, they install. And that's why some applications you install, it says that the requirement for this version is Java should be installed. Now why Java should be installed? Because these jar files which our installer has in the packaged inside that installer will be only understood by Java, because it's compiled on Java, it's developed on Java. Similarly, on other languages, on Ruby, on .NET, they have their own compilers. They can create their own files. Got it?
okay. Yeah, yeah, got it.
Yeah. So
Mm,
this API is a generic term. API, nothing. It is the word itself says application programming interface. Application is there. Programming has been done, and it's an interface given to you for the usage. Okay. Yeah. So till here we are good. Okay. Now let's go back to our syllabus. So download Java, Eclipse integration, web browsers, document object model, and application under test. So this will complete now, and tomorrow we'll complete identification and the locators. Okay. Now, sim as simple to understand. If I close this, now we are moving one step ahead. Okay. Whatever we were able to see, like how automatically the browser gets open, how automatically the window gets the URL, and your URL is able to launch and you're able to see something. Now, what's further that? What all things are there are? Now, if I go to this site and if I want to just understand or study this site, as I mentioned, like once URL is open, the document object model gets loaded, and that is called as DOM, document object model. Okay. Before that, let me open one of the important file. Just a minute. I'll just share with you. Where is that? Just a minute. I have one Excel with me. Not sure where I have kept that. Yeah, DOM. Okay. So now here on the big basket, I already told you, like, see, there are multiple things, and this site is so dynamic that it changes every time. So the things that you are finding, like these fresh fruits, tomorrow you will not find it here. It will be somewhere else, or instead of these fresh fruits, something else will be coming here. Correct? It's but obvious. In any e-commerce site you see, you will see something. Now these advertise which are looking at here, you'll not be able to see it tomorrow. There might be some different things possibly given. These menus might change, like tomorrow let's say they don't have beverages to serve. They will remove this category and they will just serve whatever they have. Correct? It's that user friendly. So if you consider everything on the page, I mean, starting from the enter button or the go button I hit on this website, let's say I hit enter inside this, it loads the page. Okay, here, and if you can see, the some sites take a long. Okay, it takes some 1 or 2 seconds to load something. These images will get load, and at the bottom you will see waiting symbol is coming. And once this website is loaded completely, then this um, the spinning icon on this tab stops, and then it gets loaded. See the spinning icon on the tab, it spins and it gets loaded. Okay, now that is called as a complete state of the website. Okay, complete state. So what is a complete state? It means that the complete load of document object model inside the browser by your browser engine. Now, every browser has its own engine. Firefox has, Chrome have, and I. So you cannot see that engine actually, but it is already installed. Okay, so there are different ways to see that, but it is already installed. Now, as this page gets loaded, if you see, this is the text box and link we just see few minutes back, and the same things I have documented over here is like input field. Let's say an HTML object, like I already given you the details, like what does the document say for the web element? Okay, it is represented as an HTML element. Now HTML, of course, it goes with the web. HTML elements cannot be present on your desktop application, like your VBC application and everywhere. You will not find your HTML page. You will definitely find text box, input box, but those are not HTML elements. Those are the normal elements or the Windows elements, I can say. Okay, and therefore, for example, Control F. No, not here. Windows. Just a minute. I'll open a notepad. I'll give you an example. So if I in the this is a Windows notepad. If I control click Control F over here. Okay, let me type something. So this is a box. Okay, here also there is a text box, option box, drop down check box. Okay, so now can you treat these as an HTML references? No, this is not HTML. This is a Windows representation. So this text box also accepts the text. Okay, then this is also a button. This is also a clickable button. Then there is also a close pop-up, checkbox, option box. This also is performing the select operation, but I cannot treat this as a HTML representation because it is not available on the web, and that is the only reason they are claiming that it represents an HTML element. It's not just a Windows element or any other, it's an HTML element. And generally all interested operations will be performed. Now, what are the interested operations will perform here? Let's say input field. Okay, input field, input any input box, like any text box is an input field. It accepts as an input. Okay, now it accepts some mandatory attributes like text or email, and there are some optional attributes. Now we'll study what is a object, what is a tag name, what is a mandatory attribute, and what is a optional attribute. Okay, now if I go back to the site, uh, big basket site, let's say I want to automate this box like this, automate this text box. Now I have automated till the URL. Now here onwards I want to enter something inside this and click on this search button. Now how I'm going to do this? As I mentioned, there is a document object model. You have to do simply right click on this any object. Okay, search box or the text box. Just click and inspect the element. Immediately what document object gets loaded, and if you see this, okay, HTML, every tag is in HTML. That's why the root tag for this is HTML. So by default, whatever tags are present inside this are by default represented as HTML, and that's why it is referred that only HTML references or of the element will be considered in Selenium. Okay, that's what they are saying here. Okay, in the web element. Okay, where is that? Here. And you can perform the operations on the same. Now, if you see the website from left to right towards bottom, okay, left to right towards bottom. So always your computer or any laptop, VM, whatever it is, it always loads the object from left to right towards bottom, correct? So if you have your website loaded here, the navigation of the elements. Okay, now I'll always say web elements to the objects, or objects can be also called on the web pages. Okay, it always have left to right representation and towards bottom. So any objects will get start loaded, let's say image, then button, then it all will be always left to right towards bottom. Link, image, again the grids, then buttons and everything, it gets loaded something like this. And it is a standard pattern which every browser has designed. Here also it's happening same. The a website starts from left to right towards bottom, coming towards the last page. Okay. Now, if I want to locate this element, okay, this is an element, or I'll call a web element, which is presented on the web. So I will right click on this, I'll inspect the element and I will go here. Okay. Now it shows me that, okay, this is text box. If you see, the tag name is given here and the one blue color line is highlighted. And if I hover my mouse here somewhere, see, it is highlighting some of the objects, correct? So if I move little up, so it is highlighting some objects or some sections out of the website, and which is, this is called as a document object model structure. Okay. So again, this is a division. For that you need to understand uh, the tags. Okay. And if you want to understand this tag, go to the w3schools.com, just type html, you will see all the tags. Just take a look at it one more time. What is a div, what is span, then what is a class, what is a input tag, what is a href tag. Okay. So there are many tags available, and that's what it represents, an html object. Now this web element input box, if you see this, automatically a blue line is highlighted when I move my cursor. See, these are the objects. And below that there is a button. See, if I want to switch to button, below that only there is a button, correct? And that there is a division and then there is a button inside this. Now I'm interested in getting the address of this box, correct? Getting the address of this box and address of the uh, this button search bar. Okay. Now I'll give you a simple example. Okay. Just a concept. So we are moving towards the object identification techniques. Okay. Okay. These are the object identification technique. Actually, it's in tomorrow's class, but the example which I'm going to give is related to DOM. That's why I wanted to emphasize it today. Okay. So now if I go to this website and I see this is my text box and search box, I know that this is the locators. Okay. So now what does and script needs? Okay. What does a Selenium needs? It says that after opening the browser, you want to perform some operations. So give me the instructions. So this script says, give me the instructions, what you want to perform those operations. So driver says that, I mean, the Chrome class says that I have already implemented those methods. You just go and use my method, whatever is available. Now there are total 8 methods given by Selenium, which are implemented in Chrome driver. And those 8 methods are like input, tag name, XPath, CSS selector, and we'll go through one by one. Okay, there are 8 tags, 8 forms that those are given by Selenium or implemented here. Now, if I go here, I'll give you one very nice example where you will get all those concepts clear. Okay. For example, you guys are online, right? Everyone is online.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. For example, uh, you know a parking slot. Everyone visits office. Everyone knows how parking is. Like usually the parking is structured in a grid format, correct? This something like this. There's a grid. Your parking office car parking, that's I'm talking about. And to give you the best example is like if you see there are some structure, there are some lanes, and there are the slots and numbering has been done. For example, uh, I own a BMW and I park my BMW here. Okay, here this is my BMW. I have parked and I went to office. Okay, these are some of the handy examples, but just to understand you guys how this object identification technique works. That's why I have to take this example. Now I am sitting in my office. Okay, and one of you guys, let's say one of my friend comes to me and says that I want your BMW and I would like to go for I would like to go out for 1 hour. Can you lend me your car for me? So what I will do is I'll just hand over my keys to him and I'll just say I have my BMW parked in my parking. Okay. Now just see the dialogue conversation, what is happening. What I will say that this is my keys and I have parked my BMW in the parking. So the first question will be coming from him is like there are multiple parking, which parking? Okay. So he'll say which parking. Okay. So I'll say that okay, level 1. Okay. So he got his answer. Now he will say okay, in parking level 1, but where there are almost hundreds of slot in parking, how will I identify your BMW? So I will say you just go and search it over there. So that person goes into parking level 1, he searches, he goes there and he says that okay, there are 5 BMWs present already. Okay, 5 BMWs which are different location. Okay, here there is also one BMW and he comes back to me and says that okay, there are 5 BMWs out of which I am not able to find out yours. So the next answer I will give to him is like look for the BMW which is having a red color. Okay, so that guy, I will specify something like look for the BMW COLU color. My answer is like it's red color. Okay. Now again that guy goes to parking and sees that there are 2 BMWs which is having the red color. This is also having red and this is also having red color. Okay. Now this guy will again come back to me and say I'm not able to identify your car. There are 2 BMWs. Which one I should look for? Of course, he will try his keys everywhere and that scenario is different. But the simplest way is to get the correct location of my object. Let's say BMW is my object. I will consider BMW as my object and my object has several properties and values. What are those properties? A car, what properties does a car have? A car have a property like a color, then shape, then some other things, some graphics, then it has the tires, it has doors, it has windows. Okay, these are the properties of my object. Okay, car is my object and these are the property. So the next question he'll ask is like there are 2 red color BMWs. Which one should I look for? Now then I will say him, okay, there is a graphics on my dashboard. Okay, look for the graphics. Okay, car graphics on my dashboard. So what is that graphics? Now he'll ask me. So I'll say that there is a graphics of a BMW logo which is printed over there. So he will again go and say that okay, graphics of BMW is already there. Again he finds there are these, both the cars have the graphics. Now out of that, which one to take? Out of them, which one is your car? Again he'll come back to me and he'll say there are both cars have graphics, but you did not mention that what type of graphics is there, he says. So he says that okay, my graphics shape is square. Okay, so my graphics shape is square. Again that person will go to parking and he will see out of these two which car has the graphics and which has the square shape. So he finds that okay, this is the graphics and which is having the square shape. Okay, so he finds the car. Okay, now and he tells me that okay, I have found out your car and I am okay with it. Now, can you see one thing over here? What has happened whenever this guy was coming back and forth to me and he was just trying to ask me, I'm not able to find your car, I'm not able to find your car. In spite of coming he back to me 4 times, if I could have given him these instructions, like my car is at level 1, my car color is red, you will find the BMW graphics on my card, and that shape for that BMW graphics is square. Very, very simple. This guy could have immediately gone through this location. He might have searched everywhere and he could have easily find out and he could have gone. Correct? See the time difference and how this is happening. Exactly what happens here on the web page, the same thing. Okay. Whenever let's forget about automation. Let's say manual. Okay. Someone tells me, Tejas, can you buy me a fruits? Can you just go in the fruit section and add 1 kg of strawberries? Now I will get confused. No? Okay, in this big basket size, where I can find fruits and where I can find the strawberries, and the simple thing, I'll ask that guy, but where is it located on the page? I'll ask the simple question. So he will say, go to fruit section. Okay, and inside fruit section you will see some fruits. Inside that there is a fruit called as strawberry, which is located at the fourth row or third row, and from third row the fourth object is a strawberry. Correct? For the time I don't have that strawberry over here, we'll consider the apple. So if I want to buy this, what I will search it from left to right towards bottom. Always remember, okay? Anytime you will search, you will what do you start from the web page? You start looking from left to right, and towards bottom you scroll. Where is the apple located? You find it. Okay, apple is located at the second row with third column. Correct? Now that gives me the identification. Now if you say uh, this locator third row and second column, but there is again one apple coming over here. So if I just say search apple, now there are two rows represented, that is second row and third row. Now out of that, which apple I want? This is apple called as from Shimla. This is apple as a red delicious regular. Correct? Try to understand. Every object, any object you take, any object, it has some properties and values. So that always is called as object will have property or attribute. Property is also called as attribute. Okay. Property attribute, or sorry, property attribute or property or attribute and value. And this is called as pair. It's always in pair. Property value pair. It's always called as pair, because if it has a property, then definitely it should have a value. See on the top example, uh, parking slot, it is having an answer as level 1. It's having a value level 1. Parking slot is a property. Color is a property, value is red. Graphics is a property, logo is the value. I mean the name of that graphics is the value. Shape is the property, square is its value. Correct? So every property, I mean every object has a property value pair, and every property value will have the data. Now the same thing applies over here. I cannot identify which apple I want because it was just told to me buy an apple. Correct? It's very simple. Now there is a third apple. I can see baby Shimla apple. So again, I can't recognize it properly. Where is it? Where is it located? Which apple do you want? Now there is a fourth one. Okay. Same thing happens to the website also. Now if I go and ask that person, go into fruit section, I don't give him a locator. The locator which I told you few minutes back, like second row, third column, there is one apple. Third row, third column, there is an apple. Then seventh row, third column, there is an apple. What is this? These are the absolute path. Okay, so we'll write it over here now. Just a minute. This is over. So topic is, I'll take more 5 minutes and we'll end up the session. Okay, because we already started at 11:10. Object identification. So here, when I say I know that apple is located at third row, fourth column with something. This is called as absolute path. And when I only say apple, there are 4 apples. I'm not able to find, there are 4 locators. Those are called as relative path. Okay, absolute means fixed and relative means I don't know where it is located. Now, in order to get the correct apple over from these 4, how I should navigate? Now, if I get an instruction that, okay, go in fruit section, there is an apple which is red and delicious, and please buy those 1 kg for me. Now I can simply go here and try to search left to right towards bottom, and I can find that, okay, there is one apple which is red delicious. I'll go and add it. This gives me the correct identification of the object. And that's something Selenium also tries to do. Whenever you insert a statement over here in the script that go into fruit section, select the apple, but Selenium does not know which apple do you want to select out of this website. Manually, as I mentioned, what we look is from left to right towards bottom. Selenium also do same thing. It traverses the page from left to right towards bottom and it identifies the apple. Now, manual visibility, what is the address for me? I can locate with my eyes, but how Selenium will identify, how it will come to know at which location this object or this apple is present. Okay, for that only, I told you we have to inspect the element. Correct. After inspecting the element, you will come to know that this is the locator of this apple. And now there is a select element at the left hand side. Okay, just click on this and you can mouse over anything inside this. Now I want to mouse over on this apple. Now it gives me one image, and inside this is an object. So instead of this complete image, see, if I highlight it here, it will give me complete image. And above that, if I go a little up, there is a complete box. Okay, it highlights complete box. So there is one division out of all these boxes and it is highlighting me. Okay, and the one which I selected over here is having an image and having some things. Now same thing, I want to search for text box. What I will do, either I will right click and inspect element, okay, which will open this document object model, or I'll, if I want to do vice versa or reverse, from object we open the document object model. Now from document object model I need to highlight the object or the web element. So there is a link over here, mouse icon, select an element in the page to inspect it. So click it. If I move it to this, again my document object model will be highlighted. By default, even if I move my mouse, the blue color line is getting over there. Now, as I mentioned, there might be again multiple text box. Here is also there is a text box. Then these are also the text box. This accepts something, right? It accepts something. See, this also accepts something. So out of all these text box, how I can identify this is the search text box only, because rest of the text box are for quantity, which will not accept the characters, but search text box can accept anything. So how I will identify that this is my search text box. Okay, now if you see this input tag, okay, it starts with I mean, this is an HTML representation. It starts with angular bracket open and it closes with angular bracket also. Correct. So if you ask me to just copy this, copy element, and if I put it in the notepad, see what is happening. Input, okay, here input starts with this angular bracket, ends with this angular bracket, and input is a tag name. Whichever starts here is always called as a tag name. And if I go here to my document, tag name is always input for any text box. Any text box in this world, the tag name will be input. To you take any website, wherever you are entering something, and if you inspect that element, you always get it as a input as a tag name starting from this, okay, from the angular bracket. Now, as I mentioned, uh, inside this there is a property value pair. Okay, I mentioned you here, like there is always a property and value. Property can be called as also attribute value pair. Now how can I find it over here, attribute value pair? How to find this? So see this, these are the attribute value pair. QA, okay, is equal to search bar. QA is attribute, equal to search bar is the value. Type, type is attribute, equal to text is a value. Now if we have to search something user friendly. Okay, so if I go here and if I say like how yeah, id is a attribute, input is a value, correct? So how to create the XPath and how to create the locator, that we'll see in tomorrow's session. But just to conclude this class, this property value pair are always present with some or the other objects. Okay, and if you come here, if you see, it is always having something. With everyone is having property value pair. This is a property value pair. This is a property value pair. Okay, now this is given, the names are given by the developers. And if you consider my car, it is having a standard way, which is human understandable. But this is not understandable by human, but of course, we are even not supposed to do that because this is a document object model and it is driven by code. So code has given this and it is showing us now what are the object attribute value pair. So for one input box, okay, one input box, I am having these many types of objects present. Sorry, these many types of property value pair. Now out of that, which one is useful, or we have to use multiple? Let's say here I use 3 to 4 property value together, then I was able to identify my object. Maybe here also it's the same thing. I need to use 3 to 4 properties together and I have to create that locator. It was also possible here if I could have simply said to him like look for the BMW which is having a graphic square shape, only one property. That person could have easily identified. He did not need even that like where is my red color or where is that. He could have easily identified that. Correct. Same thing here also. If there are multiple text boxes and we are highlighting one, how can I confirm that this is the search bar? And how can I identify a unique address to reach to this search box? That we will see in tomorrow's class. Okay, so till today we will only go through this document object model and we'll see what are the tags and we'll continue the session tomorrow for all of the attributes or all of the objects. Okay, any doubt till here?
No.
You're getting what I'm
No,
trying to
yeah,
say, the object
Yeah.
yeah.
identification.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just had a doubt that suppose now we track an object and we placed into the code while automating the things, but in next time suppose that object change, then we'll have
Huh.
to rewrite
Uh, yes,
or we
correct.
will
No,
cover
not
it
to
in
rewrite. That's where this concept comes. Like
group.
absolute path and relative path. That's why I said absolute path are always fixed. The
Mm,
same example I can give, like this, if I consider Apple row number 3 column 4, tomorrow it's not going to be here, correct?
correct. Mm,
Yeah, so in that case your point is correct, the script will fail tomorrow. If I, even
mm,
if I get the address correctly, like fourth row and third column, tomorrow
mm,
this Apple is not going to be here, it might be on fifth row, fourth column, correct?
correct.
Similarly, if I try to get relative XPath, it is more beneficial for me. Now how to get a relative XPath? Use this technique which I already
Yeah.
discussed few minutes back.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to use property value pair, you have to use tag name, and the technique I'll explain you tomorrow with this help of the chart.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the difference. And if you use absolute path, it will work for some time, but it is not a good practice. It's never recommended to use an absolute path. Always use relative path.
Only absolute path can be used like if you are sure
If you
that the
know that, yeah, if it's not
properties
going to
will not be
change.
moved somewhere.
Correct. For example, this icon, this big basket
Mm-hmm.
icon is never going to change. provided
Correct.
something happen and this big basket icon shift to right. And here if I am using absolute path, then next day my script won't identify this image because it is shifted to somewhere else.
True.
Same thing applies here also. I am not going to park my car everywhere every day in level 1 and this parking number slot number 5. Correct. Tomorrow I may
Yeah.
park at level 2 at slot 10.
Mm.
But my properties are not changing. My color is same, my graphics is same, my shape is same. So
True.
if you consider all these one by one, it will give you the path, which is called as absolute. But if I could have simply said to that person, na, look for all the parking and just go with the graphics BMW and shape is square. That person could have identified it easily. He don't need to come back to me. He will start searching its activity. And here also Selenium does the same thing. I have to give a relative path of that apple by which this document object will come and stop here and say, okay, this is I found, which is unique. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll continue and we'll have some more forms to be discussed, like more objects to be discussed. So till here, I think we are good. If you have any questions, will just let me know.
There's nothing as of now.
No,
Okay. Surbi,
no
Sony.
questions.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Maybe these sessions are recorded already. So if you want, you can revisit. And for before coming tomorrow to have an exercise, you have to come to meet tomorrow prepared by having this website gone through, then these methods through, because I'll be asking you some questions, you have to answer that. So please come prepared by just doing this, and just visit the bigbasket.com just for purpose, and just try to use this method which I use, like inspect, right click and inspect element. But I would insist, please use Chrome browser. This facility is not that user friendly in another browser. We'll be using Chrome for inspection. Okay, only Chrome. So just try to see this site and see wherever you have what objects you have. Just try to focus on each object like this. Click on this. Okay, click this image. See what all things are there. Just exploratory. Just perform it over here. And I have some questions to be asked. We'll discuss that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we conclude the class then?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
inform Seema tomorrow same time 11 a.m. in morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. If you can
Okay.
inform Seema ma'am that people are interested in either the timing
I mean,
before
we'll
11.
take a roll call here only. I mean, how many people are interested in morning batch, like 7 or 8?
Okay.
Early
7
morning.
only, I think.
I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Is everyone okay with 7 or 8 in early morning?
No, it's not possible for me. I'm sorry, it's not possible.
Sony, it's you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So we need to talk with her and see.
you can shift on his 11, 12 afternoon, but
Yeah,
7
afternoon is
is
difficult. It will become, yeah, I have to attend another batches as well. So, okay, I'll talk with her and
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
see
Just
solution is there.
okay.
If
No
there are,
issues.
because they also have to manage these batches, right? I mean, if they don't have the
Correct.
slots, then they won't be able to arrange anything.